Important is that it is a unit. So when you don't have a generational type player like a Kate Mashesky who used to play for Syracuse, you've got to use it as a 3v3 game. And you saw them do that right there, picking up the ground ball.
Well, in the loss against Clemson, Syracuse lost that game because of the discrepancy at the draw.
They had 4. That's alarming.
You need more than that.
That's alarming. And again, it's a work in progress. This is a really new look Syracuse team, so that takes time to develop chemistry at the center circle.
Well, the one mainstay is Emma Ward, 44 in white. She's the quarterback for the Orange. Everybody else really playing big-time minutes for the first time this season. What a start! Melina Cotter picks up where she left off. She scored the overtime winner Friday against Stanford and opens the scoring against Hopkins.
Not bad for the true freshman. She's having a good couple of days. I love this because it started off of the draw control possession. It wasn't a clean possession, but it was a 50-50 ball, and Syracuse jerseys got there first.
Shot clock ticks to 30 seconds. Still plenty of time for Syracuse. Here's Emma Ward. Good ball movement from the Orange here. Hopkins got a stick in front of one of these passes, but that's beautiful lacrosse. Tic-tac-toe passing. Caroline Trinkus, the freshman, buries it. But that whole possession, Dana, brilliant passing.
And it was calm. You didn't get the sense that anybody felt rushed on the offensive end. It went around 2 or 3 times before they found the open girl. That's how you beat the Hopkins defense. They run a backer, so you have to let the ball do the work. Trinkus in the middle. She was a huge contributor on Friday. Always moving, always flashing. Great finish.
This is a passing clinic.
It's beautiful. That's how Syracuse lacrosse is played. That's what we're so used to seeing.
Ward inside, passes out, and that shooting space, 8-meter opportunity coming.
And great decision by Emma Ward to not shoot that. Because of how creative she is with the stick in her hand, she probably could have shot that, but best opportunity to kick it out, get the shooting space call, signal to the refs, hey, I could shoot, but I can't because it's dangerous.
Vogelman one-on-one with Giardina, charges in and scores! Alexa Vogelman makes it 3-0 Syracuse, a strong start for the home team Orange.
Vogelman, just a sophomore, didn't play last year because of an ACL, so this is really her first year in a Syracuse uniform getting quality minutes. I love the first step off the 8-meter. She elects to go all the way in for that finesse shot, and you can see the Syracuse bench. They're fired up because this is a...
But we're just repeating
which is actually the 30 on this field. It's called the restraining lines when you're not on a football field. But this is helpful.
And a whistle before the pass, so Angelo was there in on the doorstep, but couldn't fire a shot, and instead it's a free position coming for the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays are on the board. Samantha DiCarlo, the sophomore, sneaks it by Guyette, and the Hopkins pull one back.
Hopkins needed that goal just as a juice goal off the knee of Guyette. Just a hard take off the 8-meter. Those are goals that you need from the 8-meter, but it's not like...
All 3 first-round games for you. Pre-game coverage tips with nothing but net at 1:30. And Syracuse will be taking on Florida State at 7 o'clock in that first-round game. You know, much like women's lacrosse this season, all these new teams coming into the ACC, not every team qualified for the ACC tournament this year. On the men's basketball side, the bottom 3 teams did not make it to Charlotte. On the women's lacrosse side, as Syracuse scores a bouncer with Vogelman, the bottom 4 teams won't make it. Only the top 8 of 12 for women's lacrosse will make it this season. So every conference game is so important. And Vogelman, right off the draw, Syracuse continuing to roll.
And this is how pivotal the draw is. You win the draw, you rule the world. Great transition by Vogelman. It wasn't a clean draw control, but that's okay because it was a 50-50 ball and it was contested. And the Syracuse jerseys were the first to it. Great individual effort by Vogelman. She keeps it in her right hand. And to take a breath, get some rhythm going. Not every possession is so critical because you have the ball.
And Jolie Caramelli, who emerged out of nowhere in the win against Stanford to take the draws, found a rhythm, and she is keeping it going. Stays on the field right now to join the offense.
It's a next woman up mentality. When you have a young, relatively new roster, who's going to step up? She did a great job against Stanford on Friday. Granted, they didn't have Annabella Frist. She was on the sidelines for Stanford. That's their main draw taker, but you start to see improvement at the center circle, and you can see that momentum carry into today's game.
And Muchnick makes it 5. Emma Muchnick unleashes a flamethrower, and it is all orange in this first quarter.
Muchnick, 3 goals against that win against Stanford, and that was a right arm ripper. Syracuse, they're hot on the offensive end, Jay.
10 win on Friday in thrilling fashion against Stanford. They have come in with confidence, getting the better of Hopkins right now, 5-1. At times it just feels like it's one-way traffic here in the Dome. They have gotten into their offensive rhythm, and the Blue Jays have not. Here's Muchnick. Very patient as well, not forcing it offensively, weaving through traffic. Perfectly placed. Caroline Trinkus, the freshman from Ridgefield, Connecticut. 6-1 Syracuse. Trinkus has 2.
You said it, Jay. Beautiful ball movement, patient. It switches fields. It goes from the right side to the left side. It's north-south. The ball touches multiple Syracuse sticks before it gets to Trinkus' stick, and she just takes it in as an individual. Lots of respect for that position.
Behind the back, off the pipe, inches away from another brilliant goal in this first quarter. And the Blue Jays emerge. Can they get something in transition? Here's Lesko with a head of steam. Go inside. Ashley Mackin finally cashes in. The senior, her 25th goal of the season. They got to get more touches to 27 in blue and black.
Mackin leads the team in points, but what's most important is that the ball needs to be in her stick, Jay, to your point, because she elevates the play of everybody around her. I like this opportunity for transition. Hopkins recognizes that we have numbers, and they move the ball. Beautiful slip through the double team by Mackin. ACC, you're not playing every ACC opponent. That's different than years past. The Big Ten is going out west. It's really different, and you're playing quality opponents at the first part of your season, in the first third.
Well, obviously, a lot of the college realignment is centered around football, but it has its consequences in sports like lacrosse.
Or positives, too. I mean, I agree with some of the consequences, but for Stanford, obviously, we're immersed in the lacrosse game, but if you're not a lacrosse fan, not a lax rat, you may not know that Stanford has been a perennial powerhouse for a long time under Danielle Spencer.
Just makes for difficult travels. Angelo goes low. Ava Angelo beats Guyette, perfectly placed. And the junior notches her 17th goal of the season.
Angelo, second on the team in points. She has been a key cog the last 2 seasons. I'm glad we got that audio.
Good ball movement. Mackin misfires. That's who you want shooting, though. One of the top goal scorers in the nation with 25 goals on the season. Ava Angelo, who scored earlier in this quarter, steps up for a free position.
Shooting space call by Syracuse. Angelo second on the team in points on the middle hash.
Blows it by Guyette. Ava Angelo, her second of the afternoon. And the manliest native who grew up 13 miles from the Dome, another terrific finish.
That middle hash can be tricky sometimes. Oftentimes you see players run in and pick a side to box out the Syracuse defenders on the right.
Angelo, but will not count. Would have been a hat trick in 3 minutes.
Just unlucky.
But a push, much like the Emma Ward call, backs Angelo up where she has been money on the 8-meter. Can she beat Guyette like she just did a moment ago? Steps in. And it bounces in. Syracuse got a piece of it. The hometown hero, Ava Angelo, a hat trick in 3 minutes of this second quarter. 2 50 seconds apart, both 8 meters, and it was Superior Clark who got her stick on it, and then a pounce that awkwardly beats Guyette.
Unlucky this time in Syracuse's favor. That's why you put your stick in the passing lane when you're defending the 8-meter.
Much like Johns Hopkins in the first quarter, Dana, Syracuse has barely touched the ball in this second quarter.
These first 2 quarters have gone in favor, flip-flop back and forth, but it's really the draw control statistic that stands out to me. If you win the draw, you have the ability to dictate the possession. Hopkins has done a better job being responsible with their possessions because they're winning it off the draw.
Now 12 minutes without a goal for the Orange. A 5-goal lead is down to 1. Emma Ward, usually when you need a goal, Ward can deliver, and she does with a beautiful assist. Annie Parker got free. Ward found her like she always does. And Syracuse back up by 2.
And now we're doing the worm. Whatever it takes, right? The sideline celebrations, we've seen a variety of them, but this is why Emma Ward is the quarterback. She draws the attention of the defense, regardless of if she's passing, going to cage, or taking it herself from outside. Defenses have to pay her. And I love Emma Ward. Her personality is the best. We've had a chance to cover her for many years now. She's always loose. Oftentimes she's talking to the opponents back there as the draw is being set up. Just a great human being, great personality, love for the game, and so creative.
And that assist ends a 12-minute, 25-second Syracuse scoring drought. The Orange back up by 2, 8 minutes remaining in this second quarter.
That's a violation on the draw. The ball has to go above the shoulders. So Hopkins will receive possession.
What a goal! Ashley Mackin. And it was all set up by M.K. Lesko. Stepped on the gas, found Mackin, and Hopkins the immediate answer.
Mackin, their captain. If someone's going to score, it has to be Mackin. Just beautiful job in the fast break transition. Don't count Hopkins out, Jay.
That win. And you share those draw control numbers because it's not like the Syracuse offense has slowed down. They just haven't had the ball in the second quarter.
No possession.
When they've had it, they have cashed in, been highly efficient offensively.
And there was a point when the Emma Ward goal got called back that you thought that could have been the changing of the tide and the momentum.
Emma Ward with it again, left alone. She'll make you pay. That one will count. Emma Ward, the quarterback of this Syracuse offense, and the veteran, so crafty around the cage.
She's so good. She's so slick. It's almost like it's effortless for her. That's a clinic on how to change levels, to bait the goalie, to go high, and then you shoot low.
Back to even strength. Here's Ward. Curls around, passes it up. 15 seconds to shoot. Ward. Beautiful. Caramelli. That time the patience really pays off for Syracuse. Let the power play expire, and then Jolie Caramelli, who's been brilliant on the draw, delivers the goal.
This is an awesome possession. Granted, Syracuse was woman up here, but they had 31 passes that possession. That's incredible. And they wait for the best opportunity. Emma Ward probably could have shot that, Jay, but Caramelli.
Here's Lacey Downey, been quiet today, the Boston College transfer, 40 in black and blue. Great feed though, behind the back, what a goal! Ava Angelo, the junior from Manlius, New York, right down the road, her 4th goal. What a homecoming this is.
That's awesome.
And this goal's the best of the bunch.
Has to be. I love this opportunity. That's beautiful. Behind the back. Now, yes, that's a creative way to shoot, but she splits the double team, finds the seam. If she was to shoot overhand, she would hit a...
Right there. Yeah, that's a yellow card for me.
It almost looks like Vandiver holds the stick and it pops up. I understand what you're saying.
Well, that's
Not
the officials
egregious.
agree with you because they called the foul on Vandiver, and it's still Johns Hopkins' ball.
I wish there was some middle ground with fouls like that. I understand both sides of it.
It's okay to disagree.
Not egregious,
Yeah.
but again, yes, if it's in the head, neck, and body, unfortunately, we don't have any delineation in our sport between a yellow card, an unintentional foul, but
And a
Hopkins
bouncer
capitalized.
goes. The Blue Jays cash in, and it's Ava Angelo. Make it 5. That hometown hero sign getting a lot of play today as the Manlius native has scored again to make it a 1-goal game.
Off a broken possession, Jay, 5 goals for Angelo. A one-woman show here for Hopkins. Beautiful shot and score.
That being an engineer, very similar brain pattern to being a goalkeeper. I necessarily wouldn't know that. I'm not an engineer, I'm not a goalkeeper, but very cool insight from Doucette, who's added a lot to this Blue Jays staff.
Such a great personality too, Madison Doucette. Growing the game, huge for our sport. So glad that her and the rest of the women at the WLL Championship Series got their platform to shine.
Well, she was awesome too. A lot of former Syracuse players on that New York charging team too, as Cotter charges downfield and scores. Melina Cotter, the freshman, buries her 2nd of the day, and Syracuse is back up by 2.
Big juice goal by Cotter, the true freshman, Jay. Individual effort, right to left, split dodge. Finds the off stick of Giardina. Beautiful job. Gets the game.
Green card, there's Vandiver. 90 is not on the scouting report.
It is not. It is now, though.
Yep. So whatever jersey she's wearing, she makes an impact in the game as Hopkins goes on the power play. Feels like a big opportunity for Hopkins. Angelo, the hot stick. She's got 5 goals to her name, so she's got the green light. Playing back here at home at the Dome.
Just would have liked to see more patience on that possession. That's
they get it
score.
to her. At first, if you don't succeed, feed her again. Ava Angelo. You know it's coming, you still can't stop it. 6 goals. What a story this is.
And my point, with that first possession, that shot by Angelo, is that the defense hadn't moved yet. So she just caught, stepped, and ripped. This time, the ball works around the perimeter.
Trinkus in transition, scores! They say the whistle came before the goal. I thought it was simultaneous.
I did too.
See, to me, that's not in the spirit of the game. When it's so bang, bang like that.
I agree with you.
Listen for the whistle. Was she in the shooting motion?
That's close.
So now Trinkus has to earn it on the 8-meter. Syracuse has missed their last 3 free positions. Trinkus scores! Twice she puts it in the back of the net. That one will count. And Syracuse is back up by 2. How about this freshman?
Unbelievable. Scores in the transition, gets called back, and then takes a nice rip off stick side. She's got a hat trick, Jay. Beautiful goal on the 8. Those woman up opportunities, and you have to make the most of them.
How do you go 9 minutes woman up and not have a single goal to show for it?
You're not playing well on the offensive end, and you're not letting the ball do the work. I know that sounds really easy, but that's as simple as that. In Syracuse, they're making Hopkins pay.
Yeah, give credit to this Syracuse woman down defense. Ava Angelo passes out.
But this is a zone. They have to play a zone because they're women down, and this is what Syracuse defense, that's their identity for so long. You've seen them play man-to-man, which is almost foreign for Syracuse, but they are so good in the zone.
Finally, there's the breakthrough. The Blue Jays finally cash in on a woman-up opportunity to make it a 1-goal game. And Tim McCormick, the head coach, his timeout pays off.
They moved the ball. They moved the ball, and they found the backside. Yes, she was in the 8-meter, but she was on the backside. All the Syracuse defense was staring on the other direction.
On the run. Double team, draws contact, and now Mackin has an opportunity to tie it from the 8-meter.
I understand that there's a difference between women up and even strength offense, but what was working for them so well was moving the ball, whether they were women up or not. Continue to move the ball, don't force it inside. This is in their favor. They'll go to the 8-meter with a foul.
Mackin, 27 goals on the season. One of the top scorers in the country. Scores! Ashley Mackin buries it low and ties this game at 11.
Jay, this looks eerily similar to the Stony Brook game, the last time out for Hopkins when they scored 3 quick goals in the first 64 seconds of the 4th quarter. You have to think, is this the start of the run for Hopkins with that goal by Mackin? The cap.
Shot clock to 25. Finally, Emma Ward gets a touch. The quarterback. Vogelman. Syracuse has to hurry here. Shot clock with only 5 on it. DeVito. Bouncer and a goal! Sam DeVito with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Fires the Orange back in front. What a response by Syracuse.
Effort by DeVito, the graduate student. It was almost as if, Jay, they weren't aware that the shot clock was winding down, but that's a great dodge. Keeps it in her right hand, little split dodge. Not a great angle, to be honest. Not a great angle, but slips it by. The Syracuse bench loves it. The men's lacrosse players on the Syracuse team.
Control circle. Laurel Gonzalez is finding her form down the stretch.
And that's when you see the draw control as a unit play out, because that wasn't won by Gonzalez. That was an effort outside the circle that she wasn't able to win to herself. That's your teammates getting to the 50-50 ball and supporting you.
Hate to be a broken record, but as we tick under 5 minutes to play, great ball movement! Kielbasa ties it at 12! I was about to say you gotta go back to Mackin, but Megan Kielbasa has other ideas. And the Blue Jays, an immediate answer.
Graduate student on the other end, and DeVito, graduate student in Megan Kilbasa. Beautiful job, starts from X, alone in the middle.
In those situations.
Spot on usually, but good job by Hopkins defensively to crowd the space in the air, putting their sticks up in the passing lane, making it difficult for Ward to pinpoint that pass.
Does Hopkins have another late winner in their bag? What a road trip this has been for the Blue Jays. 4 straight games on the road, 6,600 miles covered, and they might just get a win here. First lead of the game. Charlotte Smith, the senior from Baltimore, delivers.
Great cut. Finds the open space, notices Smith. She says, I'm alone. Cut in the middle, beautiful score. Heads up play by the perimeter players for Hopkins.
A free position. The Orange, 3 for 7 on free positions today. Emma Muchnick, one-on-one with Morgan Giardina to tie it at 13. The weight of the game on Muchnick's shoulders. Shoots and scores! Muchnick ties it at 13! What a game!
Wow. I know that was not the transition that Kayla Trainer drew up, but Muchnick, individual effort from the 8-meter. She had 3 goals in their overtime win against Stanford on Friday, and she delivers. The bench erupts, the crowd's on their feet.
And we've seen both of the...
Hold on Syracuse, John Hopkins ball. That was confusing though, because we both saw the official signal as if it was Syracuse's ball.
Remember, sudden victory. Who is going to be the hero and score the golden goal for a top 7 win? Hopkins has played in 4 one-goal games. They have had poise in these positions. Ashley Mackin, ball in her stick right now. 2 overtime goals already on the season. Mackin gives it up. Lesko trying to shake free. MK Lesko charges in and scores! Johns Hopkins wins it! What a goal! MK Lesko, just her 2nd on the season, and it's a golden goal to give Hopkins the win on the road in overtime.
Wow. Wow. Hopkins not a stranger to close games. Number 0, MK Lesko, keeps it in her right hand. Not a great angle, Jay, but she gets underneath the Syracuse defender and finds the back of the net. Individual effort by number 0. That's incredible.
What a battle. Johns Hopkins, who fell down by 5 goals, takes the lead in the final 3 minutes of regulation. Syracuse ties it with 12 seconds to force overtime, and then MK Lesko, the hero, the New York native, wins it in overtime, 14-13. What a thrilling game. Ava Angelo's 6 goals played a big part as Johns Hopkins comes into the Dome and leaves with their 3rd overtime win of the season, 14-13, the final score. For Dana Boyle, our terrific crew behind the scenes, I'm Jay Alter saying so long from Syracuse. What a game and what a win for Johns Hopkins.